Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you are meant for me. I'm madly in love with you.
Hey beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. Nice to have you join us today, and welcome to the family. And if you're not, hi, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to share with you tips and tricks for your 4C hair. And well, I mean, you could use it for your hair even if your hair isn't 4C. You could use it for 2C, 1A, 3B, whatever hair type you have or whatever hair porosity you have. The tips I'm going to share with you would work perfectly. So the first tip is to have a routine, a wash day routine, moisturizing routine, and even trimming routine, but I'll talk more on trimming later. Wash days. We're told to wash our hair, once a week, twice a week, or twice a month, or once a month. It depends. But my advice to you is to do what works for you. If washing your hair once a week works for you, do that. If washing your hair once a month works for you, do that. Moisturizing, well, there's so many methods to moisturize your hair. There's the lock method or the LCO method, and there's the mousse and gel method, and really just do what works for you. If the liquid, oil, cream procedure works for you, just do it, but make sure you have a routine and you stick to that routine. Number 2, wear bonnets. Wear 2 sided bonnets, because there's satin bonnets or silk bonnets. What satin bonnets do is that they protect your hair from friction with your pillowcase or other surfaces that aren't really good for your hair, like cotton and materials that are not really good for the hair. And this is where the whole 2-sided bonnets come from, because 2-sided bonnets have the right sides of both satin to reduce friction, because what you want is you want the shiny part to come in contact with your hair and not the other part, because the other part isn't smooth and it can pull your hair or your edges. Another thing to note about bonnets is that wearing a bonnet that's too tight can thin your edges, so avoid wearing bonnets that are too tight. Or if you are still skeptical about the bonnet being tight or not, wear a satin scarf on your head before wearing the bonnet on it, so it doesn't cause friction where the band is. Number 3, get not so regular trims. Like I said earlier, have a routine for trimming your hair, but make sure you don't overdo it. So when you want to trim your hair, make sure you do it at least or at most twice a month. But if that is too long, you can trim your hair 3 times a year, every 4 months, but it should not exceed that. Number 4, finger detangling. Finger detangling your hair, or when you can't or you don't have the time to finger detangle, use a wide tooth comb instead, because small tooth comb or rat tail combs pull your hair and create knots when you're combing your hair, and the more knots you create, the more split ends you have, and the more split ends you have, the more your hair breaks. Number 5, always keep your hair stretched. Unless you want your curls defined, you can keep your hair stretched in so many different ways, and that includes twisting your hair, braiding your hair, or the African threading method. And I feel that is the best method, but you can't always carry it out because it looks really funny sometimes. Number 6, protective styling. Wear protective styles often, especially low manipulative ones, because you don't want to over manipulate your hair, because the more you manipulate your hair, the more friction it causes, and the more friction it causes, like I said, the more breakage you experience. Number 7, love your hair. I can't stress this enough, and this is something that I feel is underrated or not really talked about. Loving your hair is very important, and I'm going to make a video on how to love your hair, probably my next video. If you want me to make that video, send a flower in the comment section. That would be all for today. Thank you so much for sticking through to the end. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, share, like. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.